Hello and welcome to Rarely Rad, episode 14. Clearly, she's brunette and not Isabel, a blonde. So we have our first special guest, Madison. And, well, to cut to the chase, P-Dog and I are no longer together. Not because of Madison, but she did have a hand in helping it full on break.
We just met and lots to come, but excited to be the first guest and spill the tea. We love spilling tea and drinking wine.
Yep, so here we are. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, to give you the background, we broke up Wednesday before skinny retreat. Rude, but made me super skinny. Just kidding. But he was doing some sketchy ass shit. I was sitting over there and he was just on his phone constantly. And I just kept looking and he lied to me and said he was going to put on
He
pants.
was doing that?
No, we were on his fucking couch.
Doing this shit in front of you?
Yes. Oh, so I haven't even told you this. Okay, so I come over so I was there Monday night and then Wednesday night, and I was leaving for skinny retreat on Thursday.
Okay.
And we're sitting there on his couch, like I'm him, you're me, and but we're like laying together, whatever. He kept getting like Apple Watch texts or whatever, and he'd look and like kind of quickly see like what it was, I'm like,
Men are so stupid to think women are not gonna like catch up.
I'm like over there like trying to see, but I don't see anything. Like, because he gets his Instagram notifications on his watch too, which I think
is very brave of him considering.
Yeah, and like insane. Like, I don't know, like people that still have Instagram notifications on, I'm like,
I know, I haven't had years. I know.
And he goes, I'm gonna get up and put on pants and a local. I'm like, okay. So he gets up, and have you been to his apartment? No. Okay. Well, he gets up and I can see from the angle I'm at him in the mirror on his phone.
Shut up.
On his phone. And I'm like, okay. Then he comes out.
First of all, women intuition is firing off immediately.
Yeah. I'm like, a little bit, rewind even more. I show up and it's a Wednesday and there's this like mini bottle of rosé.
No,
and I'm like,
shut up.
What is this? And he was like, oh, just in case you wanted some wine. And I was like, I don't drink like Monday through Thursday. I'm not drinking. Right. I need to have a good reason or whatever.
Yeah.
To be drinking on a weekday. And he was like, he stood by. He's like, yep, that was for you. That was for you. And I'm like, okay.
Like rosé?
No, but is that sus?
Shut up.
And so I'm like, okay. I mean, like, I drink rosé, but like, that's not like
he clearly doesn't. Yeah,
like
he didn't get that.
No, I'm like, okay, cool. And then this couch bathroom thing happens. Then he comes back out. We were watching The Gentleman on Netflix, and we were on like the last episode. So it's like everything's coming together right now. And he's just like dilly dallying. I'm like, do you want me to pause it? And he's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, okay. He goes into the kitchen because he's spilling his water, and he's standing in there on his phone.
And like, I feel like you can always tell someone's on their phone, like whether they're scrolling or if they're like actually typing.
Bro,
like, I would always look.
He's standing there like this.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Both hands are on the screen.
Yes.
I'm like, what? And I'm looking, and he's like just over there in the kitchen. Like, what
Which
is
crazy?
Doing? Like, and I think, and he, guilty conscience, knew that what he was doing was so weird that he goes, sorry, I'm texting my mom. She just learned what Quirtle is, and she's so excited about it. It's so cute.
Shut up.
They do Wordle together every day and like do the connections and stuff, but I'm like, it's 9:30 p.m. You ain't texting your mom about the fucking Quirtle.
Also, he could, if it was his mom, he would be opening those texts in front of you. Like, I feel like that's not like a secret.
I was just like, okay. So then he comes back to the couch and he sits down, but like this time instead of us being together, it's like this. He totally tilted and angled himself, and then he's sitting there on his phone. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I start just like getting in a mood because I'm like, oh,
you're just like spewing.
And so then he's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, I'm fine. And then finally the show ends. He's like, are you good? And I was like, honestly, no. Yeah. And he's like, what's going on? And I said, you make me feel really insecure.
Yeah.
And I'm not an insecure girl.
No,
I'm not an anxious girl. I'm not insecure. Like, I know who I am. Take it or leave it. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I am who I am.
Right.
And so I was like, you make me feel insecure. And he was like, what do you mean?
And I said, what do you mean?
And I said, what? The insecure. We know what that word means.
Right.
I'm like, what? So then he's sitting there. We hug for a second. We're talking.
So he just like hugs you, just like trying to hug it out.
A little bit, but I go, do you want to be with me?
Yeah.
He pauses.
Oh.
and goes, yeah.
That immediately.
I was like, nope, I'm
Well, that's
done.
like the story you were just telling me, like about when you found out about your ex too.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, with Auburn boy. I went to the bathroom first because I was like, okay, what's my next move here? So I go to his bathroom, and well, he's in a tutu, so I go to like the guest bathroom, and then
He's in a what?
a 2-bedroom 2-bath.
Oh, I thought you said a tutu, like a ballet tutu.
I
was
did
like,
say
what?
a tutu.
I was like, nothing fucking shocks me at this point. What the fuck?
So he's gay?
Yeah. I'm like,
No, I went. Yeah, so I went to his guest bathroom, and then I washed my hands and everything. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing the whole thing in there.
Yeah.
I come out. He is standing in the living room, and I walk by him, go to the bedroom, and get my ring because I had already put my ring on the nightstand. And then I come back, and I stand in the kitchen.
This isn't like a ring he gave you. It's
No,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay.
no,
I was
no.
like, wait, hold on.
We were actually engaged.
Yeah.
No. We like have this conversation back and forth, but it's honestly in circles. And finally, he says, "I just don't think I'm ready to be in a relationship." We're only in a relationship because of him.
And he's sitting.
He's the one that asked me to be his girlfriend 7 days into knowing him.
Yeah, you were saying that's
Weird.
crazy.
I said no, many times. I did not. I told him we'll start dating when I ask you to be my boyfriend because I'm not ready to be your girlfriend yet. And so then at the end of February is when I was like, "You're not my boyfriend."
Well, and come to find out, he was literally just fresh out of a relationship anyway. So you thank God you postponed
And
it.
I knew that. And when I found out that he was in a relationship through like mid-December, I don't know about this, and so that's why I like really took time to like see us and how we
Wait,
progressed.
he was in a relationship till mid-December.
That's what he said.
That's funny because he started calling up on me on Thanksgiving. That's funny. Anyways,
Well, and so he was. Where is that even going?
sorry.
No.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
His whole story with his ex, which is his vet, and I 0% believe this, is
Wait, shut up.
she ghosted him. Is his whole story.
Wait, that's the dog.
Yes.
I didn't know that's how they met.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
no, no.
Yes.
That poor dog.
I know. Yes, that's how they met, and she.
Also, women don't just ghost men for no reason ever.
So I asked him because, like, again, I was very open with it, and I had my shitty breakup with my long-term ex.
Yeah.
That I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Like that one was out of left field for me. I never expected that. I thought I would be basically engaged and married at this point. So we would be open and talk about it. And one time I asked him, I said, "Why do you think she thought the best way to break up with you was to ghost you?"
Right, you're like, I just want to understand because it sounds so.
And he was like, "I've never thought about it that way." And I was like, "I just think there has to be a reason why." And she's like 31, 32.
Right.
Like she's grown.
The mature, yeah.
So I'm like, there has to be a reason why that was the best way for them to break up. I don't think that's the full fucking story.
No.
That was the story I was always told.
Well, and if she's like that age, like she would just ghost them out of absolute nowhere. Like she would say something like, especially if they were like official. Like if you were like just in the talking phase, I get it. Sometimes like whatever people do that, but like if they're official like that, no grown ass woman who's a fucking veterinarian is gonna do that.
No, and his story was just always like she's just super immature, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
imagine.
And I don't
imagine you saying that.
I don't think she's like super normal. She only only because she only has 4 Instagram posts. That's weird.
Wait, is her Instagram public?
Not anymore, because I think he was starting to send her things and say things to her. It was public when Pete and I first started dating, and then eventually it went private. Then she has a new boyfriend, and he hard launched her on March 3rd, and I saw it. Because again, I'm girl sleuthing. I knew what happened. And like 2 weeks later, he brought it up to me and like said something like,
which is like weird. Like, don't talk to me about that. Like,
I don't mind because I understand like my long-term ex has not since we broke up posted a girl or anything, and I do think like we've not been together for 3+ years.
Yeah.
But I do think it'll be like, oh, like he's with someone finally.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I do think it'll be like a not a wake up call, but like it's I don't know.
It just sounds like with P that he was saying that too, though, like almost as like he needed someone to talk to about it, not just like oh hey, guess what? Like it almost is like
no, he was crying. He was crying. He literally like was talking to me about it, and I had already knew that like he had posted her and stuff, and I asked him, I was like, how does it make you feel that like she's in a new relationship. And he was like,
Which is like really nice that we didn't ask that, because it's like,
and he was like, it makes me like really sad, blah blah blah. I'm kind of and like I am understanding of it, but I'm also kind of sitting there like, okay, but like you also have a
you
girlfriend.
literally have a whole ass girlfriend. Like, you asked for your girlfriend after 7 days, so what the fuck?
So yeah, I was just like,
That's
not
crazy.
really understanding, but that was that. And so yeah, I storm basically back to the breakup. I storm out. That's that. I go on my skinny girl retreat. He texts me late Saturday.
Wait, so when you stormed out, was he like chasing after you?
Bruh, I stayed in the parking garage
Just waiting to see.
to see if he'd come. Because he has my location. He knows too. We've talked about it since. He said he stayed here for a while.
What? And he just didn't even come down?
I stayed on purpose just to see.
Yeah, you're like, chase me, bitch.
Yeah, like, hello. And yeah, he didn't. And then I left. Obviously, I wasn't going to sleep in the parking garage. And then I went to one of my friends, told them everything. But yeah, so that was that. He then texted me Saturday of skinny and was like, I know I said some super terrible things to you. I have been reflecting on it all weekend. If you're open to it, I would love to have a discussion about what happened and everything on Sunday when you're back.
Yeah.
And I responded Sunday morning and said, yes, we can have a discussion. I'll let you know when I'm home.
Yeah.
And then he came over. He sat right here. I sat right there. He cried. Basically, I recorded the whole thing. He was here for an hour and 36 minutes. And the beginning,
a whole podcast.
the beginning of it's just so dumb, and it's like
Does he take like zero accountability?
it's like, well, it's just like catching up. Like, so how was skinny? Oh, like this is what I did this week. Like, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's get to
Like, he loves to tell you what he's up to. And you
No, exactly. And I'm like, cool. Like, he just starts crying. I remember I moved over and I just like hugged him for a really long time.
Yeah.
And he was just crying and crying and crying and crying. And I
That
was
man's
like,
got some inner demons for sure.
oh, he needs a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
Before we broke up, he really likes the brand Tango Charlie, which is like a lot of those like workout shirts that's like lift weights, pet dogs type of shirts.
Yeah.
And like the Gatorade logo and it says tequila instead of Gatorade,
Okay,
like those shirts. And he bought one that was like Miller Lite, and it says like gym cheaper than therapy. And when he told me about that, we're still dating. And I said, well, maybe we should also look into therapy.
Yeah, you're like, clearly the gym is not doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Let's spend that little extra money.
Yeah, that's insurance would probably cover it. Like,
but yeah, so we had that conversation, and like in the end of it, I just kind of like felt bad for him for it all, and he was just so sad,
which is wild.
and he was honestly, he was so depressed.
Yeah.
Like I went to work and I like cried to my coworker about it. My coworker's like decently religious, and one day like she said a prayer for him in there, and like we're both crying. Like I was so worried about him because he was so depressed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I
feel like it seems like he like keeps fucking up, but like he doesn't know how to stop fucking up. And like that's what it seems like he's fighting, but it's like, well, you have to put in the work to like fix it also.
They're your actions. And you know right from wrong.
And also like again, like I was telling you the other day, it's like at this point, what he's doing is a decision. Like after one time, it's fake, but anytime after that, it's a fucking decision. Yeah. Like literally. If I got pulled over speeding right now and I got a ticket and I just chose to continue driving speeding, that's my fucking fault.
Yeah.
Like
no, exactly. Well, and that's something Iz and I were talking about. Like he makes these mistakes and he thinks they're forgivable, like, but it's almost like in his head it's like a mistake of like, oh, I forgot to lock the front door.
You're like, this,
and it's
like
literally
broke my
no, you were DMing other girls to hook up with them.
Yeah.
While you had a girlfriend. That's not leaving the door on.
Yeah.
That's not accidentally leaving your straight girl.
Yeah.
That's, they're not apples to apples.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you think, dude?
Yeah. The things he's saying are very intentional, like to other women.
Yes. And there's no reading between the lines.
Yeah.
It's straight there. But basically we had been kind of trying to make it work. I knew I didn't trust him at all. And I was just kind of seeing where things went. I felt pretty emotionless about it at that point, which is why when you reached out, like if I was so emotional, I think you would have gotten a different response. From me. And the emotionless is because so last Saturday I straight up died. Got so drunk. It was
wait, where were you?
So I had a bridal shower, then I went to Lady Bird, then we went to El Azteca.
So you were just like, oh,
and then
El Azteca.
We went to the Ivy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And the Ivy part,
Don't remember.
that was there. It was not me that was there.
Like my credit card because I was there.
I remember some people that I was there with, like, talking to them.
Yeah.
Anything else? Like one of them keeps sending videos of me like dancing.
You're like, stop! I don't. Want
Yeah, there's one he sent me on Monday where I'm just like, ah, and I'm like, thank you, but like, and I do look skinny, so God bless. But like, oh,
Yeah, you're having fun.
so I died, and I don't get hangovers. I
That's
don't.
amazing.
I'm just built different. It is who I am. But when I do get the rare hangover, I don't know how to combat it
Yeah.
because I don't get.
Yeah.
It'd be like I guess, a boy getting his period.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what to do
Ew,
because
yeah.
like they've never had one.
That's so funny.
And I was dead on Sunday, and I had already told P I'd go fucking hiking.
Oh shit. Uh-oh.
And luckily, hiking got backed up and backed up and backed up. So we
Yeah.
went at like 2:30.
Yeah.
Last Sunday, I literally laid in bed until he picked me up.
Yeah.
And we went to East Palisades, which is like fucking hills and roots and everything.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm
And
dying.
Forrest was like pulling him. So they were walking so fast. And I'm like behind them, like, oh. And I'm not, if I'm throwing up from drinking, it's a night of throw up. I don't throw up the next day.
Yeah.
I'm on this hike. Like, I might be throwing up today on the hike.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I'm not doing well. It was bad. But anyway, so we do that. Then we go get pub subs. We hang out. I nap on his couch. And then he was like, you're welcome to sleep over. And I was like, let me think about it. And that was like more so me. Like, I need to know I'm okay with myself. I can't be mad at myself if I do decide to sleep
Yeah. I
over.
know that. Yeah. At this point, you were like done, right? Like
Yeah. And like,
okay, but like honestly, who doesn't have like a little bit of a, you go back to them a couple of times after you break up?
like, and like, we weren't gonna do anything. We weren't doing anything when we were fucking dating. So like, we weren't gonna do anything. But so I decided to sleep over. So then Monday morning, him and his dog go out at like 6 a.m. every morning. It's so fucking
I know.
early.
One morning I was walking to Pilates at fucking literally 5:45 in the morning, and I was like, of all the fucking people to see on the street right now, and there's not a singular soul on this fucking street. I walk up the hill and I see him and his fucking dog walking. I'm like, Lord, be so for real. I like put my head down, I put my hood up on my coat, and I'm like, let me just run across the damn street. It was like,
I'm just trying to work out.
oh,
Goddamn it.
literally, I was like, what the fuck? I texted my friend Craig, and I was like, what the hell?
So they get up, and I'm awake, and I'm like, it's okay that you're here, Haley. Like, it's okay. You don't have to be like mad at yourself.
Yeah.
You made this choice. You need to be okay with it. Like, you're good. So I get up.
I guess I feel like you need to do that stuff too for closure. So you're like, then you don't have like the what if.
Whatever. And so I still wasn't 1000% never gonna get back with him.
Yeah.
It was still like that little bit of like,
I just need to
we're
figure it
seeing
out.
where things are going.
Yeah.
We're seeing. Like, I get the X stuff. It is what it is. We'll see. He goes. I go to the bathroom. Part of me, I almost think I'm a witch. But like Glinda the Good Witch from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
But like that's a raven. But like I don't like do like
you
weird
just
face.
know
Like I just
something.
know things. And like my body
No,
just
that's literally
tells
women's
me.
intuition. I
My
swear.
body literally, like, it's so weird. So I'm in the bathroom, I pee, and he has a Costco receipt in there. I'm like, oh, I'll look at it. Why would I
I
even
caught
care?
my cheating off a fucking bar receipt once, so I totally understand.
So I'm looking at this Costco receipt, and it's like organic Brussels sprouts, broccoli, tiki marsala, like all this stuff. And it's like $147. Damn, that's a lot of money
Yeah.
to be spending. Like, I know he goes to Costco and he buys this shit in bulk. Like, fuck. And then I was like, I wonder what the most expensive thing is.
I'm scared.
A dozen roses.
No fucking way. What?
What's the date? The Tuesday before we broke up.
Shut up. No way. Oh my god. He's so stupid. He's so stupid.
I never got roses.
Dude.
I have now looked back. We were on the phone for an hour. He left work at 4. He called me. We talked on the phone for an hour. He went to the gym, worked out. Then he like texted me and was like, hey, I'm going to Costco. I love you so much. I was like, I love you.
Imagine. What?
And
Oh my god.
something that's kind of funny at this point is every time he went to Costco, he offered to give me a cookie. You know how they changed their menu? You might not know.
No.
They added like these giant warm cookies to like
Ooh,
their little
yum.
restaurant.
Okay.
And he'd always ask me, like, do you want one? Like, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And that day he did it. And I
Oh.
said to my friends, I was like, I think something's wrong with P and I. And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, he didn't offer to buy me a cookie at Costco. And everyone was like, what the fuck, Haley? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
You're
no,
like,
Dad,
"Oh,
he always does. Like, he always asks, do you want a cookie? And he isn't. That's fucking weird. There's something not right. Turns out it's because he was buying his ex fucking roses.
Dude, so did he drop them off at her house or what?
So he comes back in Monday morning as I saw this. Because I'm like, what do I do? Do I leave?
Yeah.
Because then he's going to come back and then he's going to call me. Then we're going to have this phone call conversation on the phone.
Yeah, you're like, I'd rather look
I'm
in
like-
my eyes. Yeah.
So he comes in and I moved to the couch. Because I'm
Okay.
like, I'm not going to be sitting in bed still. So I moved to the couch and he's like, oh, you got up early. I'm like, yep. He's like, is everything good? No. And he's like, what's going on? Like, I said, well,
his brain is probably just fucking spewing
Girl,
all this shit
girl.
that he could.
He's like, where have I not fucked up?
Yeah, no, literally.
And he's
You should
like,
ask what did I do right. That would have.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be a shorter conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why was that bottle of wine on that Wednesday we broke up? And he still was like, it was for you. Like, I said, okay. But
Do you feel like his face changed when you asked him? Like, could you tell he was like nervous or? I feel like you can always tell.
I think so. I mean, so the next thing I said, okay, but the vet came over the day before, and he was like, you've seen probably not, like he pauses for a long time.
I like I said, I haven't really.
He pauses for a very long. I guess you haven't heard like the phone calls that we've had recently, but like he'll pause for a very long time to think about what he's going to say.
Kind of like you did the other day.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was like, you'll know. Like
I thought he was just doing that because he was so
no.
fucking caught off guard.
It might be because I am catching him off guard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, like, so she came over and he was like, she did. She was here and it was a closure conversation. He was like, it did feel like a breakup pretty much all over again. And he was like, it was super frustrating because she was like, I love you so much. You're just so perfect. You're everything I want. And he was like, but you're still going to go back and be with your boyfriend. And she was like, I am. And he apparently was like,
are you just willing to like fucking let go of you then and go back to that? Is what he's making it sound like?
What did he like? They both went into this conversation with a fucking other,
like
significant other. Were they both gonna be like, bet?
No, they
you break up, I break up, we'll meet back here in an hour,
right?
And ride off in the sunset together,
right?
With a dozen roses.
That's insane.
Yeah,
and she obviously took the damn flowers because they weren't there.
Exactly. And so then what's her boyfriend saying? Where'd you get the flowers at? Trader Joe's?
Yeah, right, right. Literally.
Like, what? I mean, he might have thrown them away or something. Imagine if he had re-gifted them. Imagine if she left and then he was like, I got you these before you went to Skinny.
Well, he tried to do that with the fucking rose.
That would have been so smart, though, because then if I saw it on the
I wonder if she's the girl that I saw with him at Gypsy Kitchen.
Did you see her face?
I mean, like, from the side. What kind of hair does she have?
Light brown.
That's what this girl had.
And it's straight.
I think it was kind of... I just can't really remember. She had a big butt. I remember that. I just remember she was sitting and I like was walking up and I was like, damn, that girl's got a big ass. Then I realized it was him sitting. I was like, oh fuck. You're like, oh. Yeah.
No, so he's like, it was a closure conversation. It was like this. It like felt like another breakup. It sucked. I said, P, you don't go into a closure conversation with roses.
That's exactly right.
And
or fucking alcohol.
I mean,
in your apartment.
Please. He had no idea that I knew about these roses. I mean, he literally was like, I don't think he even responded. Like he was just, he started crying. I do know he fucking cried that morning. He cried that morning. He cries every fucking time. Like he just started crying. And it's so manipulative in the way that like I start like not feeling that.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
No, I should be. I mean, I told him it is so hard with you because all I want to do is yell at you and you're fucking crying.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you could still yell at me. I'm like, I'm not gonna yell at someone fucking crying.
Yeah, not me. I would. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck, bitch.
Yeah, I was just like, what? And so I mean, we left work that morning. He like walked out with his hand on my back. He's like, you look really good. I'm like,
I literally think he doesn't like know how to fully process things because if he did, like, there's no way he can just act like that. Like, I think it sounds like he's just like so surface level. Like it's. I
mean, I have told him. I said, you know how to get a girl, but you can't keep a girl.
Yeah, clearly.
Because like you can do the surface level, you know the things to do to get a girl.
But then it's like you have to just go to the next. Like it's like narcissism. Truly.
No, he's 1,000% a narcissist.
Yeah,
1,000%. So then Friday. So that was this Monday.
Wait, this
one? That was the roses. Yeah, I slept last Sunday, like a week from today. Yeah. I was when we went hiking and I slept at his place, and on Monday was the roses. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
And so we're like casually trying to figure things out. Again, I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, what?
I feel like I need to read these texts that I then got.
We had phone calls. I mean, we probably on average talk on the phone for 2 hours a day.
What?
On average. Most days are more.
That's crazy.
And we had plans to hang out Saturday with our like whole group for the Tacos and Tequila Festival.
I'm so blocked. Okay. So
paint the picture. Friday morning.
Yeah.
And I get a DM from Madison and it's just, are you dating? And I immediately call him and I'm like, why did Madison just text me? Because I already knew about you.
Yeah.
I knew who you were. And I'm like, why is this girl now messaging me?
Yeah.
Obviously knowing something had to happen, especially since Craig had already watched my story.
Right.
So I'm like, someone's cooking. And
well, because I think we were just trying to put the pieces together. Like, what the fuck is like this is I just wanted to know if he was just being a slime ball or if he literally was just being a fucking horn dog with like whatever.
he was being bold.
Yeah.
He was being bold.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna, the answer is no either way, but I just was wanting to know if I had proof to like reach out.
I call him immediately. I said, why did you just text me? And he said, about what?
I mean, imagine what?
I said, you.
Yeah, right. Literally, because imagine that I would reach out about anything else. Like we didn't even know each other.
He gave me this whole rundown of like, I hit her up last night. I was drunk. Nothing happened. Don't you worry. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And I'm like, nothing happened probably because she told you no. It's not because of your lack of trying or your attempt of making something happen.
Yeah.
She had to have told you no. He's like, no. And that's the conversation I get. And then at the end of it, he's like, I was talking about how Isabel came to work with me and got to bring him clothes. And he's like, oh, is there anything in my size? And I was like, we know I only rep women's brands. He's like, you can't judge. Like, maybe I want to wear something. And I said, you are undeserving of anything.
Yeah.
And we're just on the phone. So finally I was like, I need to get back to work. Like,
yeah,
because we're not talking, like, there's nothing to say. Fuck you. Right. And so I was like, I need to get back to work. And he's like, okay, I'll let you know, like, how my call goes with this guy and how the interview goes. And I'll keep you. And I'm like, what makes you think I give a fuck about your job interview?
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. He clearly just needs like an emotional support.
Well, and he has said to me, he's like, I don't want to be alone. And I said, I'm okay with being alone.
Which is clearly why he like seeks so many women, because he clearly can't be alone, which is such a sign of weakness to me. I'm like, the strongest person can be alone. Like that's just crazy that you can't.
Like when I first started living alone, it was hard.
Yeah.
But like now
he
I'm
speaks to these empty connections, and it's like, why don't you go find a real fucking connection and actually foster it, like the one with you, for example, instead of like fucking with other women. But anyway, so
I respond and I was like, I don't know. I just said, oh gosh. Well, what or something like that.
Yeah, so
I was like, I don't want to like give her too much, but like I do want like her side of things.
Yeah, so my friend Craig and I were out for dinner, or we went to this bar across the street from where we live. Yes, please. And we were sitting there with his friend, and he like wouldn't make eye contact at us. Like it was just super like he was clearly just trying to like look in one direction, like to not look at us type thing, like whatever. So then he messaged me on Instagram, replied to my Instagram story and said, hey, you look hot. And I didn't reply. And then 11 minutes later, he goes, are you back home? And then my friend took my phone and was responding because my friend always has really good responses and goes,
he also sent those messages while he was on the phone,
which is fucking insane.
While he was on the phone with me.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey babe, I'm going to now go take a shower. I'll text you.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And he texted me looking at times and stuff, like 20 minutes later saying, I feel so much better after the shower. And that's when this shit was happening.
Yeah. So then
psychotic.
We replied from my phone and said, so does your girlfriend? Because he said, hey, you look hot. And like, at this point, like he still had the post up on Instagram. We're like, clearly he's still dating Haley, like whatever. So he goes, LOL, we broke up, but nice. And then my friend goes, that fast? And he goes, I guess so, but yeah, I wouldn't be hitting you up if I wasn't single. And then my friend, who's again very sassy, goes, babe, you just saw me in a bar and didn't speak and think you can message me because you have a boner after 3 Miller Lights. LMAO, you hit me up when you were together and just liked her post. If you're a horn dog, just say that and I'd respect it more. And then he tried to say, I think we're both horn dogs, which please be so for real. I've been celibate since January, thank you. And he goes, but either way, I'm single now and I'm just shooting my shot, which I may realize was a miss and I get it. Also, not Haley saying it literally didn't happen because she turned you down. And then he said, this crazy message said, all I gotta say is I'm hitting you up. I'm single, you're single. I thought you looked good tonight and I was hoping to come over. I realized you and I should have said something at the bar, but I was out with my boy and you were with your friends. So that's that. I guess we can end the conversation here, or if you want to yell at me, I prefer to do it in person at one of our places. And then I said, AKA, he just was trying to get you over to have like anger sex. Yeah, just like imagine. Your friend said, beat your meat and go to sleep, babe. And then he blocked me.
And he told me the next morning when I was on the phone that he had blocked her.
We also discovered when we were sitting there on Friday that he literally messaged me on Instagram.
Can we see those March 8th messages?
Yeah. Because he messaged me.
And I want you to send those to me too.
Okay. I thought I did. But yeah.
No, I don't have March 8th.
He messaged me on March 8th and said, LOL, did you block me? And I said, on what? And he said, here. Oh, I said, no, I deleted Instagram for a while and I just reactivated it.
I was at his place.
Yeah, at 10:12 p.m. on March 8th.
No, I was at his place. I went to his gym competition
What?
that night.
That's insane. Because I asked, like, when you guys got official, because I was like, that's crazy.
So this is 7:54. That's him working out. That's the dog. That's his place.
Literally, that's his 10:09, and he messaged me at
10:09.
He messaged me at 10:12.
10:09. 10:09.
10.
I took this photo at his place.
What the fuck, dude? I'm gonna laugh, but men are just so insane. Like, that's trash. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I was at his place. That's his dog.
That's
It was raining. That's why his
crazy.
dog's wearing the thing.
Okay, so then he goes, makes sense. You single now too or no? I said, kind of, LOL. Because I didn't reply till the next morning. So then he replied at 9:54 a.m. and said, LOL, well, if you ever want to have sex again, I'm down. And I didn't.
We're dating. We are full on dating.
And I didn't respond. And then he said, guess not, LOL, 3 hours later. And I said, I'm really not trying to do the whole casual hookup thing anymore, to be honest. And he goes, I mean, that's fair. I'm just not trying to get into a relationship before
Wait, what time was that in the morning when he said if you ever want to have sex?
9:54.
Look at me on his couch at 9:37
Shut the fuck up. No,
with his dog. Yeah.
You're lying.
Yeah.
He's literally sitting over there on his phone.
9:40. This was at 9:40. That was at what time?
9:54.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
What trash.
They-
And you're literally snuggling his dog.
I know, we're so cute. Yeah.
So then, wow. So then he said, and then he messaged me at 12:45 and said, guess not, LOL, because I didn't reply.
I went home at that point because we do mirror selfies every day. We're like workout selfies for our skinny group.
Yeah.
And so I worked out at 12:37.
Damn. So then I said, he goes, I'm just not trying to get into a relationship before I figure out what I'm doing, but I was thinking of like us having a consistent thing. I said, no, I know what you mean, ha, and that's totally fine, understandable. If that's what you want to do. I just am really not that way anymore. Ha. He goes, that's fair, LOL, just saying. I thought we had a good time together is all. And I just liked the message because I'm like, I'm not fucking talking. And then he sent me another message that said, but the offer still stands if you're ever wanting it anytime soon.
What time was that?
4:45.
We went on a date together at Bar Taco at 7. That I paid.
What? I literally responded and said, okay, ha. And then on March 14th, he started sending me memes that I didn't fucking respond to. And then on March 23rd, he posted a picture of him at dinner and there was like a girl's hand in the background. And I was like, that's interesting because he literally was just hitting me up. And so I responded to it and said, cute date. And he opened it and didn't reply. And then on March 26th, he hard launched you. And so I sent him his own post and I said, so you have a girlfriend and you were still trying to hit me up to have sex? Interesting, yikes. And then he opened it and didn't reply. I'm
For
like,
good reason.
literally.
I spent $350 on that dinner.
What? Holy shit.
Yeah, because it was his birthday dinner, so I paid for it.
Ew.
I know, that was so nice of me.
Yeah.
I got him Air Forces, Nike Air Forces, that were like green and gray for his birthday.
Does he wear them?
Yeah.
You should be like, can I have those back from myself?
When we were having our first like breakup conversation in the like kitchen, like the night that I was like, I'm fucking leaving now, and I walked out, going through my head right there, I was like, do I go in and get the shoes? Do I go in and get the shoes? And then I was like, no, Haley, like we don't need to do
You're like,
that.
I don't need to be that petty.
Well, because my last ex who cheated on me when I was on a girls trip in Colorado, and I had that feeling. I knew it was happening. I just knew. I was like, something's not right. And he lived with one of our other like good guy friends, and so like the following weekend we came back, and then we were hanging out at their apartment, but like he wasn't there because he's actually still dating
Yeah.
the girl he cheated on me with.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and the girl also knew he had a girlfriend, and she knew it was me.
Oh my god.
She knew it was me. Yeah. Because I'm really, really good friends with her ex.
Oh my god.
And she's like cried to me about her ex and everything. We were at their apartment and I was like, you know what? I gave him his shower head. I went and took that shit down. I was drunk on doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, mm.
Yeah.
And the next day, him and girl came back and they were gonna shower together.
And the fucking
And he
shower was
turned on
missing.
the shower
Shot,
and
goes
it's just like a
everywhere.
fucking bullet. He was so angry. He wanted to press charges.
What?
I was like, that's not, you can't do that. Like,
No, literally.
I didn't like even break in. Like, I was
Yeah.
there because I'm friends with your
Yeah.
roommate.
Yeah.
It's your fault that you cheated
Introduced
on
me. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm just taking back what's mine. Sorry.
Yeah, you cheated on me.
Right. Right.
But yeah.
That's crazy.
So when we were in the middle of this like breakup, I was thinking, like, do I go get the shoes?
But like he wouldn't even care if like he would care, but I feel like that's like
Well, I don't. So something that I'm kind of intrigued on. So since I travel a lot for work, whenever I'm traveling, I get a postcard and I would send it to him. I know I was so sweet. Most people don't see my sweet side, but like I can be very sweet.
No, I'm sure.
In every single place, I just say like with love from wherever I was, like with love
No,
from
I'm reacting
Savannah,
like that because I'm like,
with
why
love
would he?
from New York, like
Yeah, I'm like, why would he drop it after having that? Like that's crazy.
yeah, and they're on the refrigerator. At least they were.
You take them down, that bitch came over.
No, this shit's still up.
Well,
They might have not been up then, but also like, what's she gonna do? What's this?
also she knew that
She
y'all
was
were
like,
dating.
yeah, she knew he had a girl.
That is fucking
Like the fact that they both went into that conversation.
knowing damn good.
OMG, and y'all, we haven't even gotten to it. So she DMs me, we have this conversation. She tells me all that. One, we gotta do a podcast together. Two, let's go get drinks. So we go get drinks at the place right next to their apartment, and we sit on the patio because it's a gorgeous day out, and you can see him out the window staring at us.
Like the restaurant we're at, like literally faces the apartment building, and he's literally just like, well, first we saw him walking up the street, and he's just fucking staring in. And I asked her, I was like, do you think he's gonna come over here? And she's like, probably, because I would do something like that. I'm like, nah, he's so much of a fucking coward. He's not gonna. And then he was up in his apartment, just staring out the window. And Haley didn't want to pick up her phone. She didn't want him to see.
Because he kept calling me.
Yeah. So she didn't want him to see her on the phone. And then this man has the audacity to leave her a voicemail saying, hey, my interview went well today. Just thought you might want to know that. Like, fucking imagine that that's what you're calling me about.
What? Literally, that whole thing, like, it went so well. I just want to check in and see how you and Iz are doing. I hope, like, you guys are having a good day, blah, blah, blah. He has my location, too. So, like, he knows I'm at this restaurant.
Yeah.
He knows I'm here. And he's checking in and leaving this message as he's staring down at us. And it's the most awkward, uncomfortable thing ever.
So her friend borrowed my sunglasses because I wasn't facing the windows. I was like facing like the bar and they were facing like the apartment building. So Izzy borrowed my sunglasses and like was staring and like he's just staring. Like we're all just
and he was inside, he wasn't on his balcony, so I guess he thought like
he probably thought we couldn't see. Yeah.
But like he's wearing a black cutoff and he has white arms. So you can see this black cutoff and white sticks the whole time. And then we're sitting there, we're chatting, we're having a grand old time.
Just
I
more
see him walking across the street.
She goes, he's coming, he's coming. I'm
You were like, no, he's not.
I said, no fucking way. There's no way. What?
And no, he was.
I was scared he was gonna retaliate against me because I was like, after I had told you that stuff, I was like, what is this man gonna do? I mean, also I wasn't that scared, so I feel like if I go to that bar a lot, like I feel like people would have like probably hopefully stepped into
The bartenders all come
no,
in.
literally, like, but I also was like, okay, this is a little bit scary.
So he walks up. We're at a table of 4, but there's the 3 of us. And you're to my left, me is to my right. Seat in front of me is empty. And he walks up and he goes, mind if I sit? As he's like mid-seating.
I'm so
I said,
shocked. I'm sitting here like, what?
I said, I do mind, but it looks like you already are. And then he sat down. And he just sat there. She recorded the whole thing.
I'm like texting my friends. I'm like, what the fuck?
We have this on video. And
he said nothing.
He says
literally
nothing.
nothing.
So then finally we're like, do you have words to say? And he was like, no, you guys can
He
keep
just
going.
stared at her. He goes, if you have something to say, just fucking say
He
it.
was like, you guys can keep chatting amongst yourselves or whatever. And we were like, no, you came to the table. What do you have to say?
And when he was walking in, Izzy started talking about her dogs and
and he was like, so what were you guys talking about? And we're like, Isabel's dog's ear infection.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, and before that?
Yeah, that's all we've been talking about the whole time. That's it.
Fucking you fucker. Like,
Yeah.
you know this.
Yeah.
Then he just sat there and he was like, I know what I did was wrong. I know I'm a bad person. I know I fucked up. If you think I'm an asshole, whatever. And I said, I know, get in line. Because he loves to say that. He loves to be like, oh, I know I'm an asshole, but if you think that, like, just get in line, everyone
God,
knows.
he's just fucking cocky
And-
arrogant.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, like, what do you have to do here? Whatever. And he kept saying, I could sit here all day. I could sit here all day.
Yeah.
And then he didn't.
No. What was
The
the thing that made him leave?
only delusional conversation that I did allow him and I to get into is basically he got like, so he's like, I know I'm an asshole, I know I'm this, I know I'm that. I'm like, yes. And he's like, so how do we, as in him and I, as a couple, as an us, proceed.
Yeah, like basically saying, how do we make this work? And I'm like, I'm literally sitting here after you just DM me trying to hook up last night, and you think that this is gonna be a thing? Like, in what motherfucking world? And not to mention, you also just found out he was hitting me up while y'all were official.
While we were dating, I literally, he said that. I took
He
off
just
my
sat there.
sunglasses.
Yeah,
I said, you think we
yeah,
will ever have a chance? No.
yeah.
I don't care if we weren't dating, because guess what? We were dating on March 8th.
No, literally, no. You said you're like, what world? He goes, and then also, then I told you I saw him at Gypsy Kitchen with another girl while you're at your retreat thing, and he was like, he sat there like fucking dumbfounded about that too, and I'm like, he said, really, Atlanta's big.
Atlanta ain't that big.
Yeah, yeah.
Today, I think he was at your pool, and then my friend.
See, I'm scared about that now. I'm somewhere.
I'm not.
I'm
I
scared.
was almost like, if she says like this with the pool, I'm going. Well, and then one of my best friends, she lives right behind Melissa. She went there today, and the other ex that cheated on me was there today with his girlfriend.
What?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I was like, I can't go to a pool all summer.
That's crazy.
I gotta be so skinny if I'm gonna,
Yeah.
because if I'm showing up to a pool, apparently someone I've dated is gonna be there, and I don't date.
Right.
Yeah,
Wait, that's wild.
yeah, he was there, and then
Well,
his friends were there, so I was like,
I
oh.
feel like he doesn't even have friends. I never see him. Every time I see him, he's by himself.
I will say his friends that I am now friends with, they've all made it very clear that everyone is on my side. How can you not be? Like,
Well, it's
you.
it's like knowing right from wrong.
Like,
That's really
yeah.
how it boils down.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like a piece of furniture. Like he just contributes nothing to the conversation and just sits there. Like when we were sitting at Alba Room that day and he literally just sat there and like stared at you, I literally was like texting my friend. I'm like, I think this dude has like a fucking problem. Like he wouldn't talk.
He's only good about talking about himself
No,
and like telling stories about himself.
And he would, yeah.
And I like, even while we were dating, I was starting to be like, okay, you're like just telling me like stories about yourself, but you don't seem to care about anything else.
Well,
He loves to talk to everyone about everything.
Anybody that will listen.
Girl. So something I noticed, so you know, like when you're dating someone and they do something and you're like, ooh, can't tell my friends about this because like they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
why you didn't? But you're like I'm just gonna kind of look past it.
Yeah.
This boy picks his nose and eats his boogers.
Oh my God! What? Stop!
I swear.
Stop!
I swear. He'd be sitting there and then I'm sitting there like, are you like trying to hide this? Like, are you doing this in public?
What?
I swear on my life. I swear on my life. And I couldn't tell anyone because I'm like, here I am dating this person. And I went to elementary school with this girl that like picked her nose and she chased people around with boogers on her finger. And I'm like, that's him. Like, there are probably people in this world that see his name pop up and they're like, that's that kid that.
I literally feel like his
Shit.
brain genuinely like stopped like developing in like the 4th grade because what is going on? Like all
Well,
these stories you're telling me.
And then even worse than that. So like I knew this boogers and I was just like, oh my God, okay. Then last Sunday, again, I'm dead. I'm on the couch, I'm laying there, he's sitting there. And then he's like on his phone. He's probably DMing other girls. Probably like
Yeah. I know, like I feel like if I'm telling you, I'm like, what other girls are out there that?
Well, and that's the thing.
say
It's like,
anything?
in the end of the day, like I'm like, why is it not getting through his head that I know everything? I will find out everything at all
You
times.
literally found out
But
who I was from
I'm-
Venmo. Yeah.
So she is the girl. If you watch the Bronco video episode, she is the connection to the Bronco girl. So I'm laying there and he's sitting there and he starts trimming his toenails. And I'm like, interesting to do that in the living room.
Yeah.
He's like always vacuuming. He's all like, he's a very clean guy.
That surprises me, honestly.
The dog sheds a lot.
Oh, that makes
The
sense.
dog sheds a
Yeah.
lot.
I just feel like he's like trashy, so
No,
I just think that I would expect him to be clean.
Personally, he's trashy, but like he's left the bar to like go mop his floors before. He literally went to the Georgia Tech FSU basketball game, and we then were all going to Park Tavern after to day drink.
Yeah.
And he was like, I have to go home and mop my floors.
What?
And
But also, do you think that was him just lying? Like, do you think he was just up to something?
no, he always was fucking mopping his floors. He's just very clean, and I find that hot. So I was like, I'm kind of into this.
No, yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
I agree. Like,
I'm sitting
At
there.
least he's got one.
He
good
starts
thing.
trimming his toenails. I'm like, damn, this shit's gonna be fine, but he does vacuum. So like, okay, we're not dating. That shit's not flying.
No.
He
No.
ate his toenails.
What?
He ate his toenails.
You're lying.
I swear on my life. I'm laying there half dead
What?
watching this happen. And he knew I was awake. He was Eating the toenails.
Fucking shut the fuck up, bitch. That should have been your first sign to run. What?
That was last Sunday, yeah. I was sitting there like,
Did you say something to him?
no.
Did he do it like on a lot of them or just a few?
Does it make a difference?
No, it doesn't. But I was just wondering if you started like hiding.
At least, no. That's the thing is when he like would pick his nose and eat his boogers, I was like, why do you not hide this? Like we all pick our nose.
Right.
We don't eat our boogers, but we all pick our nose. But like we're not like just doing it.
Right.
And he would just do it. And then yeah, the toenails. I mean, and he knew I was awake. I mean, like, yeah, my head was down there and like my body was here. But he was like, at one point, I'm pretty sure him and I were having a conversation. And I was just like, this is racy.
Oh my god. Dude, that is probably one of the nastiest things I've fucking heard about, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just sitting there and I'm like, you are so clean.
You're like, Ashton Kutcher's about to come out of the closet and say you've been punked because what the fuck am I watching? What he does if he does that while you're around. Imagine what he does when he's in private.
I know Isabel goes, I bet he farts in his hands. And I was like, honestly, he was farting in front of me and he never did that. So like I don't think he does do that, but like maybe in private, but it doesn't seem he cares to do things in private or in public. So.
Yeah.
He's still so delusional that he texted me today with a life update.
Yeah, literally, yeah. What? Yeah, he literally was like, I just took my dog on a walk. My dog's tired from our walk. I'm like, what?
My dad's getting discharged from a hospital, not from the jail. So I said that earlier to someone and they were like, what? His dad's arrested? I was like, no, hospital. His dad he's like, my dad got discharged. You already told me this. Like, your fucking voicemail and your texts and everything you fucking said. Daddy got discharged. You have your Georgia Tech master's interview scheduled and Forrest is really tired from our walk earlier.
You're like, okay, cool. Like, I fucking was so sad all weekend because I don't feel like you were, but
very emotionally removed, especially by the time that you reached out. And I think, like, even going into the breakup, I already knew something was off. He met my parents.
What?
I think you could get it too because your parents don't live here.
Yeah.
Like, if they happen to be in town, it's like
you kind of have to meet them. Like they don't hear that often.
Yeah, like they come twice a year.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
They happen to be here because they were in a wedding up at Kaya Vineyards, and my parent and it's so funny because I wasn't trying to get them to meet him, and I'm like besties with my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom, Karen, she was just like, when are we gonna meet Pete? And so I kind of said something to him, like, my mom keeps asking when she's going to meet you, but like, not in a way of like, I want you to meet them. Like, they just keep asking. And he was like, I mean, I can if you want. We ended up all going to Culinary Dropout. Have you been there yet?
Yeah, it's so good.
Have you had the spa water drink?
No.
Do you like tequila?
Not straight, but yeah.
So it's this green drink. It looks like a green juice.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite drink ever.
Really? Oh shit, I'll have to try some.
It is delicious. He comes and meets us, and first off, it's during the Masters, and he's just watching the TV. But he's not like that.
Really?
He's usually,
but I can see him not being like that, like in meeting someone like important. Like I feel like he like is almost intimidated and he doesn't know how to respond.
He's so not like that. Like I threw him into situations to see how he would perform. Dance with a monkey.
Yeah.
And he always did really well. He's like, I don't want a guy that I have to like bring him to a party. Like I have to walk you around. Yeah. Like, no, we show up together, we leave together, but like we do our own thing while we're there.
Yeah.
And so I would throw him into those situations quite a bit. And literally at this table, he just kept watching the TV. Then he would tell a story about himself. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm fucking mortified. They obviously, like my family didn't say anything to me, probably because I can
Do you think they thought anything about it though?
Oh, they've 100% thought about it.
Really?
And I've not asked because I really have not wanted to hear that feedback.
Yeah.
I got brunch with them Sunday at Treehouse on their way back, like after the wedding. And my mom's only comment was, she was like, he was really into the television. And I was like, so you noticed that too? And she was like, yeah, like he kept watching it.
You're like, can you give attention to my family for like an hour and a half? That's really all I'm asking for.
When they're about to pay for your $60 meal.
Literally.
I was so shook.
Did he like ask them anything about them? Like, did he ask your parents like anything about themselves? Or like anybody in your family?
I really don't think so. We had conversations amongst the table, but it wasn't like it's always him telling stories. I still to this day have not asked them, what'd you think about meeting him? Because I knew when they met him, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And I knew from there, since he's trying to get his MBA, I told my mom, because he's been so like obsessive about it, I told her if he doesn't get accepted, we have to break up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know he's not going to be able to handle this well at all.
Yeah, you're like, I already deal with his emotional shit enough. Honestly, I was
Life
like, if
update?
my parents don't approve of somebody like that, like, it immediately steers me away from someone. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna make me not be with them, but it really like weighs heavy. Because it's like, if I can tell my parents don't like somebody, it's like, well, why would I want to be with them if they're not gonna fit with my family?
Yeah.
And if he's not respecting your family enough to turn his fucking stupid ass face away from the TV for an hour,
For the Masters, it's not like shit's moving fast. The whole thing was absurd. I
I just feel like that's like so disrespectful. And like you said, it's like a rare opportunity for your family to be here, and like it just sucks you didn't like, take it more seriously.
well, and that's why like they were here more often. I don't think he would have met them.
Yeah, I get
But
that.
because it was like that opportunity that this is happening.
Yeah. When was that?
Super recent. Overall, the whole thing, just don't understand what he even thinks is happening. While we were dating, we talked about if we ever broke up, like what we would do.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it.
Right.
I told him I'd cut his jump rope. But when we like after we had broken up, we had like wine at his place one night. Like we each had 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't like doing it like I didn't sleep there or anything. But he had to eat dinner still.
Yeah.
And I happened to be in the kitchen, I think, filling my water bottle. And he was like, "Oh, will you hand me a knife?" And I grabbed it and I went, he said, "I bet you thought about doing that more than once." And I said, "To you, no, that's too passionate."
I kind of feel like he likes like a toxic, like not that you're toxic, but I feel like he would like thrive off
I think so,
a
too.
relationship, and I feel like that's why he like almost couldn't stay loyal to you, because he needs somebody who's like a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and that's how the ex that cheated on me, it was like, I have my life together. That's what I told him at Elbow when he was like, I think we just were on 2 different pages. And I said, yeah, I have my shit together and you don't.
I still can't believe he said we're on 2 different pages. Yeah, I know what loyalty is, and you don't, motherfucker. What?
They go, "Well, what else do you expect?" And then he goes, "If you need me, I'll be at Johnny's."
Oh, I forgot about that.
I said, "You want me to show up to Johnny's like you did to Elbow?"
He just so badly wanted you to chase him that night, and I'm really glad that you didn't, because I feel like that's probably some shit I would have done in my past, and I would have been like, yeah, I'm just gonna show up and like make it look like I'm having a fun time.
I
I
guarantee at the end of the day, you're a fucking piece of shit.
I guarantee if me or any other woman that's ever engaged with him has ever would text him right now and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry I outed you. Like, do you want to hang out?" I guarantee this motherfucker would be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
The fact that he made it seem like y'all had been together like a handful of times
Which is not fucking true.
is wild.
No, it's just one of those things where like I feel like on that month that I like met him, I was just partying and like drinking
Yeah.
too much, and like that's why like I haven't really like I do go out now, but like you said, I try not to really drink on the weekdays. I try to like, make better choices, and it's like it literally truly like he was like almost like my wake up call. It's like this man doesn't respect a single fucking woman, and I literally was like, I don't want to be this person that like accepts behavior like that. Like this is disgusting. He seems like the type that'd be like a selfish lover where he only cared about like himself getting off and like
Yes.
wouldn't like help.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Really? He wouldn't ever? Which is so crazy.
I
I mean,
mean-
somebody who like is clearly so obsessed with sex would like want to like get all
no,
in there.
but he wasn't. So from
But
you
I'm
saying
saying-
he's obsessed with it, it's so wild because we didn't.
But I think he had different, like he actually liked you and had emotions for you, so it's different. Maybe he didn't feel that way, but I think he clearly feels this way towards a lot of women in general. He's like,
He only knows how to have like emotionless.
yeah,
sex.
yeah, right.
All of it's gross. He, I think, is just an ick.
I'm like low key
In
scared about him
general?
the next time I see him in my building.
And he knows where I live. I own this place. Like I can't just move.
Right, but I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
I think he would ever like bitch me out in person.
Look at what he did at Elbow. He can't say shit. He's gonna sit there and
He
watch
literally
it.
was like, no, literally when Izzy was trying to get involved, he literally was like, I'm gonna talk to Haley. I'm like, you just walked into a situation.
I said you sat at a table of 3 people. You don't get to choose. You only saw
One of which you just fucking aired out your damn dirty laundry 5 hours ago. So you walked into the situation, sir. I don't know what to tell you.
And to close it all out, he still wears his fucking class ring.
I literally told Izzy that. I was like, girl, no way.
It was
Tell me
something-
you peaked in college without telling me you peaked in college.
There's no way he even peaks in college.
Yeah.
He will never have a peak in his life. He's all valleys. And on that quote, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.